Hi, Nathan Ronen, CFA here, with another update for Level 2 candidates right before their exam, whether they're taking it in May, August, or November. Well, before I get into the actual update, if you're interested in continuing to receive these updates, why don't you press the subscribe button and the notifications button on your system now so that you can continue to receive them as I post them. Okay, Level 2 candidates. You're probably 7, 6, 5, maybe even fewer weeks away from your exam in May, August, or November, and you have probably been studying a lot, or maybe not too much, and you're kind of wondering how you're going to do on that exam. Well, I can guarantee you one thing. If you just continue studying the material in the curriculum books or in the learning ecosystem or in some prep providers' study notes, for example, or just watching videos on content and more content and more content, you're going to know the material better, but it doesn't mean you're going to pass the exam. Because one of the most important aspects of passing the Level 2 exam is doing an adequate number of mock exams. I can't overemphasize to my candidates who are working with me or to you who may not be working with me how important it is to do an adequate number of mock exams. Now, the mock exams that you get, you know that you get 2 mock exams from the CFA Institute currently, and those 2 mock exams are worthwhile doing, but don't fall into the trap of thinking that those mock exams are going to be exemplary or very similar questions to what you get on the real exam. First of all, they're not. Number 2, whenever you get something for free, you should be wondering why you're getting it for free, because you usually don't get anything of value for free. But most importantly, those mock exams are being done by everybody, and they're not actually created by the CFA Institute themselves. It's created by, I believe, the CFA Society in Boston. So just treat it as another prep provider's mock exams. So what I would do is I would schedule my mock exams to be done simulating the test environment. I actually have 3 very good, well-designed item set mock exams that I've put together based on my years of experience teaching the CFA Level 2 program. And I think that if you don't have access to them or you haven't done them, then you should really include them among the mock exams that you're doing. Do not do mock exams just from one single provider or 2. Spread them out among many different providers. And here's the reason why. Since nobody really sees the actual questions on the Level 2 exam since 2005, they don't release the actual exam questions. The only one that actually knows the questions or sees the questions are you, the candidates. And your retention of the questions after you leave the room is probably pretty dismal anyway. But here's the thing, since the prep providers don't really see the actual questions on the exam, it's very hard for them to replicate the exact questions that you're going to get on the exam. So therefore, you shouldn't really be doing 8 mock exams from one provider or 5 mock exams from one provider. And if a provider does say to you, hey, we've got 10 mock exams for $8, well, first of all, you should be wondering about the price a little bit, because that's not only very inexpensive, but it is very expensive to make item sets and put them together. It's very time consuming. But anyway, whatever the price is, take the 10 mock exams for $8 and do maybe 2 or 3 of them at the most. And then get another 2 or 3 from another provider, and so on and so forth. So I would do the 2 item set mock exams that you have from the CFA Institute, maybe 2 or 3 of mine that I have available on my website at chalkandboard.org. That's CHALK and BOARD, chalkandboard.org. They're very, very well-designed mock exams that come with actually a recording of me going over each of the item sets, timing you, and then going over each item set and giving you the answers and explaining them, along with an official answer key as well. And I would highly recommend those. And then you'd probably want to do a couple of other mock exams, maybe from Kaplan or from Wiley or from another prep provider. And then what I would do is, when I'm doing the mock exams, I would do them in a sitting, meaning that you do the first session and the second session all in one day, okay, within 4.5 hours, including a 30-minute break, and then actually grade yourself and go over the answers. Now, when you're doing the mock exams, my last hint to you is don't do all the mock exams from one provider first before you go on to another test provider. Mix them up. Do them randomly. One from Nathan and Chalk and Board, one from Kaplan, one from the CFA Institute, one from Wiley, whatever, and then mix them around. Because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to get used to a prep provider's style of asking questions, and you'll see your scores go artificially up. And then when you change prep providers, you'll see them go down, and you'll see this kind of up and down movement as you go from one provider to the other. And that's going to create a feeling of, hey, am I going to really pass this exam? And that gets me to the last point after you do these exams randomly, in a random order, is to understand that you shouldn't look into your scores too much. Because again, since no prep provider can provide you with the actual questions on your real exam, every exam will have its strengths and its weaknesses. Some might be overly mathematical, some of them might be overly conceptual, some of them may not be tying the material together in terms of different learning outcome statements, concepts, and readings. And another exam might be too focused on detail or minutia. So just take the exams and your grades on those exams with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean if you're scoring low that you're going to fail, and if you're scoring high, you're going to pass the real exam. It can go either way. So what should you use the exams for? Use the exams, the mock exams that you do in the 7 or so weeks before the exam to give you an opportunity to manage your time, okay, so that you're doing questions in the right amount of time and that you can finish the exam. So I'll call that time management. And then the other factor is you should be using those mock exams to highlight any areas that you are not doing well on that you should still probably study a little bit better in case they actually ask it on the real exam. So that's how I would use mock exams. I would do as many as I can. Going and doing 1 or 2 mock exams is not going to cut it to pass the level 2 exam. Trust me, because I actually sat for the level 2 exam twice because of poor test taking techniques. And had I known some of these things before I took the exam, which I'm now telling you, my results might have been better back in 1994, 1995. So good luck on that level 2 exam. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on my website at chalkandboard.org. Good luck on your level 2 exam whenever you take it, either May, August, or November.